bird registration ends September 7th.
Start planning today to celebrate the 40th Equip Exposition Trade Show
This October 17th through the 20th
in Louisville, Kentucky. Expo is the best place for landscapers to find the latest equipment, tools, and technology to get more productive and efficient. And then you can go into our 30-acre demo yard and test the products for yourself. Explore new business opportunities in one of our 50-plus education sessions and learn firsthand from experts in landscaping, hardscaping, irrigation, pool installation, tree care, and outdoor lighting. And don't miss the new Thursday night arena concert with Third Eye Blind and Dylan Scott. Also, there's our UTV test track and our main stage events with top-notch speakers like Brian Fullerton, all for just $25 per person if you register during our early bird sale. And you can even save 50% off that price with the coupon code BRIAN. The early bird registration ends September 7th.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, we're going to really quickly here switch it over to my friends, Brandon with Billy Goat. Let you guys know, Brandon, from last year, we had him on the podcast, did an absolutely amazing job carrying the torch, carrying the flame, if you will, for Billy Goat Industries. And a lot of you guys know Billy Goat. They are the debris loader, leaf blower, vacuum sucker up company, if you will, that has made, just making splashes and making waves for quite a few years now. I think more than like 20 or 30 years, if I'm not mistaken, with their company. Gosh, I think even 50 plus years, which is absolutely awesome. All the Billy Goat stuff that we've bought with our own money. I will be totally honest with you guys. They are doing some sponsored content with us at a campaign this fall to get in front of you guys. So I super appreciate their partnership and their support of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. And then also the YouTube channel. We got a great 1-2 punch that we're going to be lining up here. One is the podcast episode here with Brandon, and then number 2 is the YouTube video that I shot with Aaron, who's our local regional sales rep, if you will, at our local Farmington Hills Weingarts dealer. So we talked about all the equipment that they have to offer. Maybe it's new to you guys, which is kind of the point of getting in front of you and showing you what they got. Maybe some of you guys have been in business for a little bit and you're looking to reinvest and make some upgrades this fall for a leaf cleanup season. I'd highly encourage you guys to check out the Billy Goat brand. That being said, guys, they're going to be at Equip Expo. Make sure you guys visit their indoor booth and their outdoor booth. But all things being said, I see Brandon here calling in. So let's take it away and let's pick up the phone and talk to my friend Brandon.
Hey, Brian, how we doing?
Hey, Brandon, doing good, man. How are you?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. There you go, man. I like that. What was that, like Wedding Crashers? He's like, man, I like that, with Owen Wilson or something.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm just living the dream.
Yeah, man. I bet.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I think it was when they run into Will Ferrell, who's still living in his mom's basement or whatever, and crashing funerals.
Yes, that's what it was. Dude, it's all in there, man. It's all in there. I always see that scene pop up like on Instagram, and cracks me up every time, man. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You guys got to get ready, be excited for leaf season right around the corner, huh?
Oh, man, we got everything in the world right in front of us right now. So we got on-site rental rep training next week.
Okay.
So we got 24 rental reps nationwide coming on site to Billy Goat, and we're going to competitively hands-on train our equipment versus everybody else's equipment.
Ooh.
So we kind of train the reps so they can, be our voice out in the field. So we do this for North American distributors. So we have our large distributors. I think is it 90? I want to say there's a total of like 96 territory guys that are tied into all of our distributors that we sell through.
Okay.
So again, we'll bring 25 or so of them on each year, and they kind of rotate and do the same thing. And then we do rental in the fall or late August, early September. We'll do the rental guys.
Wow.
Really, the only thing we don't sell through rental is debris loaders. Most rental houses wouldn't know what to do with that. So
right.
So we take debris out, but everything else is in. But it's fun. It's good. Everybody leaves knowing something more about the equipment, and not just that, but knowing something more about the competitor's equipment, that why Billy Goat is better, why you want to push Billy Goat, how you can explain to somebody why the Billy Goat over a competitor. So that takes a lot of coordination, getting all those guys brought in, the dinners, the hotels, setting up equipment. We got to go rent a lot of the competitive equipment that we don't have. So
Right.
That's a lot of fun.
That makes sense. And again, like a lot of guys, and frankly, I didn't know this either, but I didn't know, and most guys probably don't know, is that before Equip Expo, there's a show, and before that show, there's another show, and it's like it doesn't just end or start, I should say, at Equip Expo, right? Like there's the dealer distributors, then there's potentially another meeting or two with different parts of the company and brass, and then it's like then you get the Equip Expo, or there's NALP or Elevate. Like there's
Elevate.
It's a busy late late summer, early fall, and then the big grand reveal and all that mess is Lights, Camera, Action. It's like almost like Take Two, even though it's the big reveal for the quote unquote general public, at Equip Expo. So it's man, and we get invited sometimes to those dealer days, and I'm just like, look at folks, like I only have so much time in a day too. I'm like, hey, you want to write a check for $50,000? I will turn the plane tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But like, so I'm counting on one hand. It's a big zero, by the way, with how many offers I get for that. So,
I hear you.
So I don't envy that necessarily, because I know it's so logistically taxing and challenging in a good way, but it's a lot of excitement too, which again goes full circle to half of the dang portfolio, if not most of the portfolio, for a lot of the Billy Goat stuff. You guys make have great product to make money year round, but spring and fall, no doubt about it, and especially fall, you guys are what would you guys say, like you're probably the market leader, not to blow smoke up your guys' rear end, but I would imagine Billy Goat's probably one of the dominating forces in debris loaders, vacuums, leaf blowers. I mean, am I right, or correct me if I'm wrong?
Oh yeah, no, it's fall season is our busy season. We have two peaks, but the fall peak is by far and away larger than what we get in spring. Spring peak is mainly rental focused, rental heavy, and some further south where aeration and seeding happens more late spring.
Okay.
So we've compiled our problem too, because leaves always fall no matter what. They're going to fall off the tree
somewhere.
So in the snow business, sometimes it snows, sometimes it doesn't. Grass, it can go dry, but guess what? The leaves always fall.
There you go.
So our fall business is always in our vacs, blowers, and loaders categories are some of the most reliable, repeatable core business that we have. And as we look at the market landscape, we do picture, and again, none of this stuff is reported. You can't actually go get the physical data on who sells the most wheeled blowers. But
okay.
When you put over the years, you kind of can piece together based off, due diligence on this company. You heard this through the grapevine. You figured this out. You talked to these people. You do find out that Billy Goat's vacuum position is very, very high market share. It's almost a monopoly. There's other vacs, but you just don't see them out there.
Okay.
And then blowers are slightly behind that. We call it, and then they're 70%, 60-70% market share.
Wow.
On the blower side. And then loaders, there's a little bit more competition. You see loaders probably in the 50% market share, 1 out of 2, maybe a little less, 45, 50%, something like that, is what we can estimate. Now, granted, I can't back all that up with like hard data that's in a giant spreadsheet that came out of OPEI or something like that.
Right.
But it's 15 years worth of us trying to get a finger on, all right, what is the market? What is the total volume of equipment? And so we would say we're primarily market leaders in fall cleanup. Like we can kind of state that holistically and be pretty right. Pretty close.
Well, I'll tell you honestly, like my experience, my opinion is I've known the Billy Goat brand since day one, because it's out of Farmington Hills Weingarts, and shout out to the Weingarts folks. By the way, every time I say the word Weingarts folks, Dan at Weingarts owes me season tickets, to the Lions game and then the Red Wings. That's how it works. I'm just kidding. I wish somebody send this to Dan, would you? He low key. I don't. Do you know Dan Weingarts? Have you ever got to meet the guy?
I haven't got to meet him yet. I haven't traveled to Weingarts. I'm sure Aaron Restall, our territory, our regional guy I think you've met him too. He's going to be he'll be the guy that knows him.
Yeah, well, so Dan's a character just like myself, and we're both Mr. Sales Guy, like shaking hands and kissing babies. And Dan and I could literally just BS with Dan for an hour, talk about nothing, and just have a great time. But so any which way, if he actually, I saw him one time, and he goes, "Dude, I was listening to your show the other day driving into work." And I was like, why would you listen to my show? I was like, I feel like embarrassed. And he's like, dude, what are you talking about? He's like, it's a great show. He goes, I love listening. He goes, you guys are like one of my pulses on the industry. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, well, I really appreciate that. To me, he's like a big deal. Like I want to, look good and try to perform for, a handful of different people out there in my life. And he's one of those guys where he's just a great dude, very genuine guy. And so anyway, long story short, I just thought that was really funny because when we were there, actually, I was there yesterday with Aaron shooting the video for Billy Goat. So
that's right.
If you guys are listening into the podcast real time, we will have a video coming out showing a little bit more of the visual to what we're going to be talking about with Brandon here on the podcast, which is going to be really, really exciting because I've known, like I said, Billy Goat since day one because of Weingarts and from the Dans and the Teds and the guys that have sold me equipment all through the year, And so I don't know, like market leader, from, like you said, sales and stats, but for me, from an impression, Billy Goat to me is like, if I had to get a leaf blower or a debris loader tomorrow, it respectfully to the other brands, and I'm sure they all make great product, but to me, like it's just what you get. It's just there's the green and orange on the floor, and there wasn't a second option. There wasn't even a third option to consider. Now, and if you use other competitor brands, dude, that's awesome. I always joke in my videos lately, like I'm not here necessarily to like sell you guys a Billy Goat. That's Aaron's job, our local sales guy. But
right.
Nonetheless, to me, it's like a no-brainer. If I'm going to buy a mower, I'm going to buy an Exmark. If I'm going to buy a plow, I'm going to buy a Boss. If I'm going to buy a debris loader or a leaf blower, I'm going to get a Billy Goat. So I don't. What do you think? What do you think drives that cult-like following that you guys have had with Billy Goat? Because around here, it's pretty much all you see.
Well, I think it was. If I were to put a finger on the two things that kind of drive that, one, we were the first ones really to focus niche cleanup, starting with vacuums and going into blowers and going into debris loaders. I mean, we started that back in the late 60s, early 70s. We got focused on debris, and that was all Billy Goat really did from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That was it.
So you guys know that industry. Yeah.
That's kind of where since we started it, we populated it first, we built the channel first, we expanded globally first on that focus categories of just cleanup. I think that is kind of why people associate Billy Goat with fall cleanup. And it goes to your point, like on social media, I follow so many different landscapers. And as we get into September and October, you start to see them posting pictures of their Billy Goat loader or their setup or a wheel blower, or whatever it is. And some of them have even gone so far as to hashtag fall Billy Goat season.
Okay.
People are connecting those dots at Billy Goat. That's Leafs. That's what we are. I mean, and the second one, I think it's just the brand, the Goat label, the colors, like everything about it. Like it's sticky, it's fun. People recognize it. It stands out.
Yeah.
Like, I think that just helps attach it to people's memories of that's what Billy Goat is. It's that orange machine or that green machine with the orange and green logo on it. That's a fall cleanup machine. That's what they do, whether it's a vac, a blower, or a loader. So I think those two things have really kind of built that mindset.
Well, I was talking to Gail and then Shyla more recently with what was it, last year, 2 years ago? I think you guys were part of LEL and sponsored some stuff, and you brought the hats, and was it like Goattoberfest or something like that?
Right.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty catchy, with the orange hat. So whoever did that, hopefully they got a bonus. I don't know, but it is like, the orange and green. I'm like, it's like hunting season, and we're hunting for leaf season. I don't know, but let me do this for anybody. Let's take a quick second and let's zoom out. Let's actually do two things at once, because we do have a podcast that does have some overhead. We do want to pay the bills around here. So let's do this really quick. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And then I want to shift gears a little bit, because for anybody who doesn't know the whole Billy Goat lineup, I just want to, if you guys are listening in, leaf season is right around the corner, and that's kind of the purpose of today's podcast. Brandon and I, we're catching up. We're going to yuck. We're friends. We're buds. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure you guys understand how Billy Goat can help you guys grow your business and make more money this leaf season. What might be automatic or just intuitive, or second nature to me, because I've been doing this for 17 years. I don't want to take it for granted that some of you guys have only been in business for 17 weeks, 17 months. Okay. So, Brandon, you got a few more minutes where we can get you, where we can talk about the product line, who, what, when. Let's get into some nitty gritty. You got a few extra minutes?
Of course.
Okay, cool. Let's do this really quick, guys. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors announcements, and then we're going to come on back, hear a little bit more from the man himself, the expert, talking about the product line, how we can use this stuff to be more efficient, more profitable, more productive, and help you guys really bring in what I would kind of consider to be that last big haul of revenue before winter. So, guys, hang tight. We're going to come right on back.
Looking to generate more leads and earn more revenue for your lawn or landscaping company this season and for years to come? Introducing Branded Bull, the small business marketing agency that helps other small businesses look awesome and grow. From websites and SEO to logo and graphic design, their team of experts will help your business get found online and earn more business.
Hey guys, Adam Fullerton here with Branded Bull. We'd love to partner with you and help your small business look awesome and grow, stand out from the competition, and earn more customers. Give our team a call and let's discuss how we can help you take your small business to the next level this season.
Today, it's too easy to get lost in the crowd, lose potential customers to competitors in your area, and be left behind. So if you're looking to establish an online presence, update that old logo, or elevate your brand's image, Branded Bull has got your back with over 30 years of experience doing the same for big businesses. Visit them today at brandedbullinc.com to see what they can do for your business.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump right back into it. Brandon, I'm going right back to you. So let me ask you this really quick. Because when we jumped on the show, we just kind of went right into it and talking about the background story of Billy Goat. But help me zoom out. What does Billy Goat offer? What is their product line? What are you guys known for? I know a lot of people maybe have heard the name or seen the name, and we've been talking loosely, debris loaders, leaf blowers. But for anybody who doesn't know the name or doesn't know the brand, and maybe they just stumbled on the show last week for humor's sake, where are you guys coming from? What are you guys known for? And then what's some of the different product line that we're going to be talking about this afternoon?
Well, it's interesting. So the portfolio has expanded quite a bit from the early days of Billy Goat when it was all debris and cleanup from backs and loaders and blowers is where they got started. But as they started to grow and realize they needed to kind of absorb a factory year round because they made money in the fall and then they really didn't have anything else for the rest of the year. So 6 months out of the year were nice. The other 6 months were, very, very thin. They started to think about what else could you expand into. And then it all kind of started to fall under a big picture of clean up in all seasons and take the chore out of chore.
Okay.
So those two things kind of help steer us to what products do belong in the portfolio. And it starts with the cleanup in all seasons. So cleanup can be loosely looked at as I'm cleaning up leaves where we started, or litter or debris or whatever. That's where we kind of started. But what about cleaning up your grass? Making your yard look nicer, renovation. So that starts to drive into aerators, overseers, power rakes, stuff like that. And then also, what about cleaning up overgrown areas? So the brush cutter comes into there. And then you got, cleaning out some of the paving business that we have, cleaning out the cracks before they seal coat. The little grazer machine comes in there to clean all that up. Then we also have clean up dead trees. Stump grinder shows up in the portfolio.
Wow.
And then ripping out to improve your land for like a walkway or a landscape bed, sod cutter, cleanup. That all that stuff, it falls under cleanup, and just you got to think about cleanup in totally different ways. If we're improving it, cleaning it, making it look nicer holistically, that any of those niche little products we're open to. And the ones that I've just listed off, they're all in the portfolio today. But we've added them from just vacs, blowers, and loaders is what we started with, but we've continued to find those holes where it makes sense for both fall or for spring to help, really absorb a factory and produce a full line portfolio. And it just so happens that on the onset of that, all that stuff connects to rental. So you're expanding and expanding and expanding your offering to the rental houses and to the rental reps. which pulls more and more people in your direction to fill out a rental portfolio as just as well as your contractors. So it's actually the two different ways that we kind of go to market North America. Like they're both very complementary to each other in the way in which we built the business.
I like it. So let me ask you this. Do more people get started with the Billy Goat product, like using the first product, I should say, for leaf applications, or have they got started more, like you said, because they went to a Sunbelt or whoever, and they rented a Plugger 2501 and like, whoa, this is pretty dope. And then they get a Billy Goat brochure, catalog, open house, and then they're like, wow, you guys make debris loaders. What? How do people typically start like the product journey with you guys? Because for me personally, I'm telling you what, I probably would have started with a 2501. I think that's the SKU for the Plugger, but I know the debris loader, the DB18 or whatever it is, the one that we have. I've been eyeballing that for 15 friggin' years before I got one. I was pitchforking rakes, leaves out of my utility trailer with high sides, and oh my God, folks, it's been a struggle for a long time. I'm like, why didn't I buy? I should have bought one of these in year 3. Okay. And pick your horsepower. We got a great how-to video talking about the 18, 20, 13, 18, 27 maybe, and then a 37 or 25 and 37, 29, 37.
Yeah. 29 and 37.
20, hey, I'm a little rusty. It's almost leaf season. I'm gonna get back there, But we did a whole video talk. It wasn't sponsored, okay, folks. I did it on my own time. I'm like, hey, trying to help you guys navigate the purchasing conversation, because I bought my own debris loader. I bought my own P2000 stand-on leaf blower. Like, I believe in the product that we get to have all these great conversations with Billy Goat after the fact. But again, I've always dreamed about having all these great productivity and efficiency machines. So where do people typically start with the Billy Goat journey, and what's some of the most common used products for those guys in lawn and landscape?
I think it's actually kind of twofold. I think aeration is one of those places that people can get started. It just depends on your focus. The other is, of course, going to be leaf cleanup.
Sure.
And regionally probably plays a big part in that. If you're regionally in an area where leaf cleanup is massive and the business opportunity is larger, that's probably the place that most people get started, whether it be a wheel blower or a debris loader, one or the other, or maybe the combination thereof. Like say it's a 6 or a 9 horse small wheel blower, and then maybe they buy the 14 or the 18 horse, or maybe even they go down to the 13 horse debris loader, an entry level machine, and get started doing leaf cleanup because that business opportunity is massive. Like you said, I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah, I've got tarps and backpack blowers, or I'm using a lawnmower with a rear collection system and like trying to figure out, scrape together cleaning up these yards in leaf season versus just go ahead and make the jump. Get an entry-level 14 or an 18 loader and a small wheel blower, and you can outrun that mower and bagging system, tarps and rakes and all that. You can outrun that incredibly fast just with our entry-level system.
Yeah.
But then if you're regionally in an area or your focus is more turf care rather than leaf cleanup, then it's going to be aeration. And a lot of those guys may get started renting a piece of equipment first. I've got 5 jobs, 10 jobs, 15 jobs that said, hey, can you do aeration for me? Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, check in and look at renting an aerator and get started. Ultimately, you do grow that into a point where I need to buy my own machine. I need to maintain my own machine. Sometimes I need to buy a fleet of machines as you grow that business. And Billy Goat has that solution too, with both the aeration and in the overseeding side of things with our hydro overseeder. So I would say those are 2 very nice entry points for a commercial contractor. Now, if it's paving or if it's somebody else, like that's going to be very, very specialized. Like if it's a hotel that needs to do cleanup, they're immediately going to get started with a vacuum or a small blower. And if it gets into munis, it could be that way. Or amusement parks, they could be that way. Their entry into Billy Goat could be through a vacuum. So there's lots of different ways to get in. But from a commercial contractor, you guys that do mowing and cleanup, it's going to be either an aerator or it's going to be a loader and blower combo.
Okay,
it's going to be the first step.
Well, and that's exactly what we have. I respectfully didn't want to necessarily go with the push blowers, the I think the series they are, right, like the 13 or 18, right. And most guys have those. Everybody's got one or has bought one, a used one on Facebook Marketplace, or like you said, a rental one back in the day. Millions of those things floating around town. Some guys, I don't know if you've seen these, Brandon, they have like those little carts that they like have fabricated to, put them on the front of a 0-turn mower or something like that. Which is, hey, look, you don't want to be walking around as much as it is anyway, and it's always so muddy in the fall. Like that's where the self-propelled or the stand-on, like the P2000, the X3000, the Z3000, those things really do come into play. But, one thing that is, it's funny, you said at the top of the show, you said a guarantee is that the leaves will always fall. What is not a guarantee is how much time you have to pick up those leaves or move those leaves.
So, or it snows.
Dude, that is like the real crux of the conversation here. So a lot of you guys are like, yeah, like I've heard there's money in leaves, but how do we do it? Well, you have to get a very efficient setup, and you only have in the Midwest, a 3 to 6 week window maybe to get them done. Basically Halloween-ish through maybe Thanksgiving-ish. Of course, if you guys are more middle of the country and down, you might have a little bit more time, but nonetheless, it really comes down to efficient machines and productivity. And again, I'm not here to sell you guys on necessarily going with Billy Goat. I'm just telling you what we've done with our equipment over the years was we went from raking and leaf blowers and, bagging to getting a dump insert, to getting a debris loader, to having the vacuums on those mowers. And then we have a bunch of smaller HOA, type clients and customers, residential properties. So we got that P2000, which we have started to use on our commercial sites as well, of course. And then even for our spring cleanups with just rock and salt and dirt and debris, in the parking lots, blowing the lots clean. Like, it's been a natural evolution of our equipment. And by the way, dude, we're small peanuts. I mean, a lot of you guys are out there, you got 10 guys doing 1.5 million, and you're like, look, we need a Leaf Dragon or the 37 with the tow behind cart. Like, that's awesome. There is something for everybody all along the way. But if you want to make money with leaves, you have to be efficient with them because, again, same thing. You only have a 3 to 6 week window, quote unquote, to get it done. And using little hand rakes and, sucking up wet leaves with, a little handheld leaf blower that's a multi-tool, it's not going to get you there. Brandon, you got any takeaway thoughts or additional thoughts on that one?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot you could take from there, but you're exactly right. Productivity and fast, efficient systems on getting it done is key because you're compounded with a couple of things. Not only is it a small window, but the days are getting shorter.
Yeah.
At the same time.
That's a great point.
The amount of light that you even have to see what's going on becomes less. So, I mean, it's one of the key reasons why when you get to the stand-on blowers, the larger ones come standard with a headlight. You need that. I mean, you're going to be blowing at dusk. You're going to be blowing at dawn. Like you don't have enough time to get through, especially if the weather kicks in and you're really up against it to get all the leaves cleaned up in that tight little window. And it ties in. Billy Goat is very specialized in tight window jobs. Aeration, overseeding, that's a narrow window. Fall cleanup, that's a narrow window. Even real brush cutting season like this, hey, there's a time over summer where I'm gonna cut my brush, and I don't want to really have to do this, 3 times a year. I want to try to hit that window where it grows to the height I want it. I knock it down once, and I don't have to play with it again.
Right.
So everything is very, very seasonal that we do. That's kind of what we specialize in, and we understand that seasonality very strong because it's been what we started with was a tight window of cleaning up leaves that started this business. So every time we engage a new machine, a new job, they're always going to be that way. A tight window, we understand it. Our sales guys know it. The production schedule understands it. The service parts team understands it. Like, we all know that seasonality. So that helps us drive us. Probably another reason why we've done well in fall is because everything around our business can set up to hit those tight windows for our customers. And yeah, the other point that you made, there is something for everybody, right? You start out small loader and a small wheel blower, but again, efficiency, productivity, everything matters. So as the industry evolved into stand-on mowing equipment and otherwise, so do the rest of the machines. Stand-on blowers, they move faster, less fatiguing. I can get more work done. Like, all of those things stack up to get faster and faster and more productive for your leaf cleanup job. So the whole range, from wheel to riding to small to large on debris loaders. Yeah, we've got that whole portfolio for all different sizes of customers, contractors.
Man, I love it. Well, guys, that's a soft pitch, a good pitch. That was a great way to communicate, Billy Goat nonetheless. Again, not here to sell you guys anything, but genuinely just wanted to take a few minutes today and talk to you and have a conversation and maybe get those gears turning. We've been looking down all summer long. I would encourage you guys to look up, because those leaves, I don't know if you guys, where you guys live, but here in Michigan, some of the trees are already starting to have like that yellow ruffling, on the edge. And we're starting to see some of those leaves starting to pepper. And, once that starts, you kind of, I don't know what it is, Brandon, like the air kind of changes. You kind of get like this frenzy, and you're like, okay, we got like 8 weeks to get our last haul of mowing in. And then leaves are, and then boom, it's leaves. And then boom, after that, it's snow. But I want to encourage you guys, like look up, start checking the leaves. How are they doing? Start having that mental conversation. Start, maybe next time you're at your equipment dealer, go find the catalog stand, grab the catalog for the Billy Goat product, call up your local rep, XYZ PDQ. Maybe you guys are going to be going to Equip Expo, check out the indoor and outdoor booth at Equip Expo and start that conversation now, because leaves isn't necessarily just like snow. It's not hey, I'm going to get into that tomorrow. You could, but it does take a plan. How are you sucking up the leaves? How are you disposing of the leaves? Where are you disposing of the leaves? What is hauling those leaves away? It is a little bit more of a logistical game plan. Okay. So I would encourage you guys, Wayne Gretzky, it's one of my go-to lines on our show is, how did you become one of the most highest scoring players in the league? And he said, I always skated to where the puck was going. So guys, it's the first part of September here. Leaves are, 6 weeks, maybe two months out. Skate to where the puck is going and put yourself in a position to win, to make some great money this fall with leaves. So that's kind of what I got for a soft kind of agenda and bullet point list. But Brandon, anything you want to add, and you can have the final thought.
Well, I would say, and you brought it up about Equip Expo. I mean, we'll be there. Billy will be there in the outdoor booth. We'll have our debris loaders. We'll have our blowers and hurricane blowers, stand on and walk line blowers there. Come see them. If you're going to be there, I think I'll be out there, demoing and explaining and having all the engagement with the contractors that are there. Come see us. Especially come see the Big Dragon if you're a customer that's needing a very, very high productive solution for leaf cleanup. We'll have one of those there again this year too. So, yeah, I think the trees are going to be a little bit confused here in Kansas City, because we're cool right at the moment, but it's going to go back over 100 next week. I
was just looking at my weather when you said that 2 seconds ago, because I had a text message and I look at the weather and I'm like, why is it 88 degrees next week, bro?
Yeah, I got the Thursday at 100, and then the following week they're talking about another heat dome. It's like the trees should be starting to think about, turning yellow here too, and starting to think about peppering. But I think we'll be a couple of weeks behind you guys for sure, just from the extra heat that's coming in. But
but that's how you go from that 6 week window down to the 3 week window. and
they hang on to the trees even longer. That makes that window even shorter on the back end. Yeah.
We had 1 year, a couple years back, total side tangent here, but a couple years back, it had snowed, and then it just wouldn't let up temperature wise. It never got above freezing, and there was just always like a half inch of snow on the ground, and everybody's calling, hey, you're gonna get the leaves. Hey, you're gonna get the leaves. We didn't start leaf cleanups. I had 3 working days in 6 weeks, and we didn't start leaf cleanups until Christmas week. And we went, which is wild in Michigan. That's not a thing. Normally, we try to get them all done by Thanksgiving, and anything after that, I call it the bonus round. And literally, I think it was like December 18th or something like that, is like ringing a bell in my brain. And I'm like, I remember it was me and I had 1 or 2 other guys back in the day. It was a couple years ago. And I said, like, dude, we are working Christmas week. And I said, we were taking like that Thursday or Friday off or whatever it was. But we did. We worked all that week, a couple days the following week. We did have a shortened leaf season that year, but again, we're not going to leave that 5, 10, 20, 30 grand on the table, whatever we're doing, whatever you guys are doing. I told the guys all know, I don't care if it's a 40-degree warm snap day in the first week of January, we can line up 3 leaf cleanups and go make $1,500. We are getting out there to make that money. And I wouldn't feel any more confident if I didn't have all the Billy Goat stuff there to help us out to get that job done. So, man, that's what I got. I can't wait to see you guys at Equip Expo. Leaf Dragon will be there. Aaron will be there. Charlotte will be there. The whole team will be there. Brandon will be there. Make sure you guys check out the Equip booth. Give them a high five. I think we're going to do some kind of feature thing, maybe on stage. We're still trying to lock down some of those logistical details. But are you working indoor this year, Brandon, or outdoor? Or do you guys rotate? How does that work?
Oh, no. I have to be around the running equipment. Like, it's just in my blood. So they sit me outside all day, every day. So
that's awesome.
I'll be out there demoing, covered in dust, lose my voice, and just be there to talk to every single person that has questions or interest in Billy Goat or whatever we can do to help explain how our products can help your business. So I look forward to that. Like, I can recall a couple of times, and I'll get engaged in a sidebar conversation with a contractor. We'll be talking for 30 minutes about all the different things we can do, and he'll be, throwing at me problems that he sees, or why he doesn't want to do this, or why this isn't working, and you just go back and forth. I love that engagement. I absolutely live for that, to try to get people to understand how we can help you, and even for me as the product guy, what else I can do that I glean out of the contractors, what's missing. What are we not doing well? What's the next thing? Like, where is the next pain point? Like, it's wonderful to be outside and engage everybody. And at the end of the day, you can't speak. And you get an inch of dust off because the weather in Louisville is always
oh my gosh.
It's going to be incredibly dry, or it's going to be pouring down rain.
Were you out there? Were you out there last year with the Dust Bowl? Oh my God.
That was bad.
Yeah. And then another brand that's, which will go unnamed, had the fire, dude, it was a white.
Oh gosh.
It was pandemonium.
That was not very far. That was not very far from us. And I'll never forget the security guy from the Quip. He came wandering over so nonchalant and just walked right up to me and a couple of other guys from Billy Goat. And he's like, "So, you guys having a good show?" And we're like, yeah, things are going good. He goes, "Well, we're evacuating."
Oh my God. Wow. No way. Okay. Wow.
Okay. We all just kind of took off and headed inside.
You're like, that's a new one, and we poke fun, we make fun of it now, but back then it was, I still, you guys know the whole story. I'm not going to go down, but you're like, that's a tough day for that brand. It's, I
was getting very nervous. One, just from the safety, think about all the gasoline. Every manufacturer's got gasoline for all their equipment. There's hay bales everywhere. And then the grass was as dry as it was. I'm like, oh goodness, this thing gets out of control. This could be a real big problem in a hurry. And I'm thinking about running for the door.
You're not wrong. Well, I was inside doing a booth takeover for another brand, and I'm meeting a bunch of people and having a great time. And I had a dozen people running up to me, dude, real time. Like, look at what's happening outside. And I'm like watching TikTok live, like it's some kind of crazy action movie, like Transformers movie, and I'm like, is that happening right now? Like, oh yeah, dude, like sirens are going off. Folks, you got to get to Equip Expo. I'm telling you, it's the stories that happen at Equip. They stay at Equip. Some of them come back home, but some of them come back, whether they like it or not, unfortunately. But hey, I actually had somebody brought it up. They said, maybe it was like intentional, because like sometimes bad press is better than good press, and I'm like, somebody said they got like 50 million, impressions on that for the brand. And I'm like, not all, what do they say? So all press is good press, something like that. So who knows?
There's always a good conspiracy theory everywhere, right? Yeah, why not?
So if you guys see Brandon out there with a can of gas in some matches, somebody slap his wrist, okay? At the Billy Goat booth, you're like, hey man, we're really fired up. Well, I bet you are. No, I wonder if Shauna's going to be like, we can't say that on the air. I'm just kidding. We love you.
She might come some of this out.
All right. Well, hey, we'll shut it down right there before we both get in trouble. Super appreciate you taking time out of your day to hop on our Lonely Old Show. I appreciate everything Billy Goat's doing. Appreciate the partnership. Guys, we have a sponsored video that they're going to be doing on YouTube, like I said, with Aaron, one of our local sales reps, who I've known for a little while now. And again, folks, I can't tell you honestly, like any more honestly, I've bought all the stuff that we have from Billy Goat. I love their stuff. Great people, great brand, great product. Check them out, like Brandon said, at Equip or your local dealer, spring open house, all that fun stuff. And that's what I got. So guys, thank you so much for listening in. Brandon, thanks so much for taking time on the show, brother, and look forward to catching up with you soon.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
You bet, brother. All right, guys. Well, hey, over and out from Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, guys. Thank you so much for listening in. Again, if you guys appreciate the show, don't forget to share it. Maybe tag it on IG and tag Billy Goat, or maybe share it with another friend who's thinking about leaf cleanups, or maybe you're trying to encourage your boss to throw down and reinvest in the business and grow. Send him the podcast episode. Maybe he can do a little product research and help you guys continue to reinvest in the business and get some cool equipment for leaf cleanup and make some more money. That's the name of the game. So, guys, over and out. Appreciate you listening in, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Looking to generate more leads and earn more revenue for your lawn or landscaping company this season and for years to come? Introducing Branded Bull, the small business marketing agency that helps other small businesses look awesome and grow. From websites and SEO to logo and graphic design, their team of experts will help your business get found online and earn more business.
Hey guys, Adam Fullerton here with Branded Bull. We'd love to partner with you and help your small business look awesome and grow, stand out from the competition, and earn more customers. Give our team a call and let's discuss how we can help you take your small business to the next level this season.
Today, it's too easy to get lost in the crowd, lose potential customers to competitors in your area, and be left behind. So if you're looking to establish an online presence, update that old logo, or elevate your brand's image, Branded Bull has got your back with over 30 years of experience doing the same for big businesses. Visit them today at brandedbullinc.com to see what they can do for your business. This is your invitation to Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023 in Novi, Michigan, Saturday, November 11th. The lineup is power-packed. You won't want to miss it. Learn from incredible speakers like Leroy Maines, Keith Kalfas, Caleb and Brittany Allman, Sam Gimble, Weston Zimmerman, and Jeff Joyner, just to name a few. Tickets are on sale now at the early bird registration price of $197. And hurry, because seating is limited to just 300. Once you purchase your ticket, you'll be added to our private Facebook group where you can network with other attendees, get access to the discounted hotel room block, and get the inside scoop for the Friday night party brought to you by Kohler. Thank you to this year's sponsors, Exmark, SureTrack Trailers, Yard Book, and Boss Snowplow for helping to bring this incredible event to life. We can't wait to see you November 11th, Novi, Michigan at Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023. Get your ticket today at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com or use the link in the podcast description. Lawntrepreneur Academy Live.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.